In a small village of Omonachi, there lived a young girl named Chioma. Chioma was known throughout the village for her beauty and intelligence. She was the daughter of the village chief, and she was expected to marry a wealthy man from the neighboring village in order to strengthen the relationship between the two communities. However, Chioma had another plans. She had fallen deeply in love with a young man named Chokode, who was a talented hunter and a musician. Chokode was not from a wealthy family, but he had a kind heart and a gentle spirit that captures Chioma's heart. Despite her father's objections, Chioma continued to see Chokode in secret. They would meet in the forest where Chokode would play flutes and Chioma would dance to the music. Their love was forbidden, but they could not deny the strong bond that existed between them. One day, Chioma's father found out about their relationship and was furious. He forbade Chioma from ever seeing Chokode again and arranged for her to be married to a wealthy man in the neighboring village. Heartbroken, Chioma ran away from the village in the middle of the night, determined to find Chokode and start a new life with him. She knew that they would face many challenges, but she was willing to risk everything for her love. As Chioma ventured through the forest, she thought about life she had left behind and the uncertain future that would lay ahead. But she knew that as long as she had Chokode by her side, they would overcome any obstacle that may come their way. And so, she continued on her journey determined to find true love and life of happiness and freedom. As Chioma ventured deeper into the forest, she faced many challenges. Along the way, she encountered wild beasts, but was determined to find Chokode and be reunited with him. After days of traveling, Chioma finally reached Chokode's village, and she was overjoyed. However, their happiness was short-lived. A news of Chioma's escape spread through the village. The village chief sent his men to search for Chioma and bring her back to Omonachi village. Chioma and Chokode knew they had to flee the village and they seek refuge in a distant land where they would live in peace. They packed their belongings to set out on the dangerous journey, not knowing what the future held for them. As they traveled through the unknown land, Chioma and Chokode faced many hardships and obstacles. They had to rely on each other for strength and support, and for their love for one another. It grew stronger from each passing day. One unfaithful day came as Chioma and Chokode were nearing the border of the village. They were caught by the village chief men. Chioma was forcefully taken back to Umoneze, where her father was waiting for her with anger in his face. The village chief was determined to put an end to Chioma and Chokode's love story, one and for all. He arranged for Chioma to marry the wealthy man from the neighboring village as originally planned, hoping that this could break her spirit and make her forget about Chokode. Despite her protests and tears, Chioma was married off to the wealthy man in the neighboring village in a lavish ceremony. The man was pleased to have such a beautiful and well-respected wife, but there was no joy in the marriage for Chioma. As they passed, Chioma tried to make the best out of her situation and be a dutiful wife to her new husband, but her heart belongs to Chokode and she could not shake the feeling of emptiness and sadness. Meanwhile, Chokode was heartbroken and lost. Without Chioma by his side, he wandered aimlessly through the forest, playing his flute and singing songs of joy, and longing for his beloved Chioma. Despite the distance and the obstacle that stood between them, Chioma and Chokode never stopped loving each other. They held on to the hope that one day they would be reunited and be able to live their life together, free from family and societal expectation. And the days turned into weeks. Chioma marriage to the wealthy man became a living nightmare. He was an abusive husband who would slap and beat her on a daily basis for the slightest and the smallest of reason. Chioma endured the abuse in silence, her spirits broken and her heart heavy with sorrow. One day, after a particular thorough beating, Chioma mustered the courage to seek help from her father. She tearfully recounted the abuse she was facing at the hand of her husband, hoping that her father would intervene and protect her from further harm. But Chioma's dismay, she was surprised that her father turned a blind eyes to her suffering and insisted that she returns back to her husband's house. He believed that a wife's duty was to obey her husband no matter the cost, and he refused to go against societal norms and tradition. Chioma had sank as she realized that she was truly alone in her struggle. Her father's betrayal shattered the last bit of hope. Days turned into weeks, and the abuse only grew worse. Chioma's body bore of scar of her husband beating, and her spirit was on the brink of breaking. She longed for freedom and love she once shared with Chukwudi, but that seems impossible. One unfaithful day came. Chioma's husband, rich, knew no bound, and he, fit of anger, he struck her with a such force that she fell to the ground lifeless, and he ran away from the village to a very far place where no one could find him because he is wealthy. The village was plunged into mourning at a tragic loss of Chioma, a young woman whose life was cut short by the expectation of others. The strength between the two villages that Chioma's was meant to bring never realized. Instead, it served as a cautionary tale of the consequences of societal expectation, abuse, and the tragic consequences of a love that was never allowed to flourish. Chioma's untimely death left a pain in the heart of all who knew her, a reminder of the tragic nature of life and the importance of stand up against injustice. The moral lesson of this is that Chioma's death served as a reminder of the consequences of turning blind eyes to abuse and injustice, and the importance of standing up for those who are at risk and are in the need. The villagers reflected on Chioma's stories and realized that true love could never be controlled by societal expectation or tradition. They understood that love should be for good, bringing people together in harmony and mutual respect. As time passed, Chioma's memory lived in the village as a reminder for standing for